bensound.com.
My God. Sorry, everybody. This was not an accident. I did very much mean to do this. Sorry for how long that took, ladies and gentlemen. I was just trying to make myself some damn tea. Is this not working? Whatever. It's not important. It doesn't need to. I was trying to make myself some tea, ladies and gentlemen, and it takes forever to boil water, which should be illegal. When I am made president... well, now no, it takes forever to boil water, and it's not my fault. It is quite frankly the fault of Dr. Anthony Fauci. He's the one who decides how long it takes to boil water. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play a song for you guys, okay? A good song from a man who recently died, recently passed away. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is a song from Bono. Yes, Bono, who, of course, died today performing at Barack Hussein Obama's memorial service. He also died. It's been a rough day. This is a song from Bono. I'm not good at goodbyes. I miss the sunshine in your eye. Who said cowboys don't cry? Come on, baby, let's take one last ride. Riding round this carousel, if you catch my drift. Riding round this wagon wheel, she took me for a spin. Riding round this carousel, getting dizzy till we're sick. Love is like a circle, there's no easy way to end. It's too much, I can't take it anymore. Stuck feeling like we've been here before. But now the sun stops shining here in the Wild West. My heart stops beating and it's sunk into my chest. We're riding around this carousel, if you catch my drift. We're riding around this wagon wheel, she took me for a spin. Riding around this carousel, getting dizzy till we're sick. Love is like a circle, there's no easy way to end. I'm just an outlaw who only had one friend. I wonder if I'll see her face again. Dark clouds hanging over, they follow where I've been. My cowboy tears are still blowing in the wind. Riding round this carousel, if you catch my drift. Riding round this wagon wheel, she took me for a spin. We're riding round this carousel, getting dizzy till we're sick. Love is like a circle, there's no easy way to end. Are you guys not hearing the guitar? I think I have like a noise canceling thing that might be fucking it up. But, let me see if I try to plug in. This is the bridge part, so we're building up to it, ladies and gentlemen. It turns out I got a notification. This is not from Bono. And I heard that and I was like, oh, shit, this is just an Edge solo joint. This is from guitarist of U2, The Edge, who, this is true, everyone calls Ed. It wasn't him. nor was it Adam Clayton, the bass player for U2, nor was it Larry Mullen Jr., the drummer for U2. There, we got some guitar. I do know all 4 members of U2. I love U2. I'm a big U2 fan. I'm not good at goodbyes. I miss the sunshine in your eyes. Who said cowboys don't cry? Come on, baby, let's take one last ride. We're riding around this carousel. If you catch my drift. We're riding around this wagon wheel, getting dizzy till we're sick. We're riding around this wagon wheel. She took me for a spin. We're riding around this carousel, getting dizzy till we're sick. Love is like a circle. There's no easy way to end. We got more. We got more of his music here. This is from Oliver Tree. He did have a funny mullet, and I simply must admit that I'm a fan of his music. I think his music is good, and I like the way he shit posted IRL. In fact, I must say, there is a non-zero chance that he faked his death. A helicopter crash in Brazil? Okay. Okay, buddy. Okay. I don't know if I buy that entirely. Shiny like a limousine. You're spending like a cash machine. Smile, show your golden teeth. That's how you cover up your cavities. It's how you're glowing like a diamond ring. Here's all you saw some other things. You're spending like a cash machine to cover your insecurities. Now run. When is it enough? Bad, do you need that stuff? What's it all for? Why it seem like you still want more? When is it enough? Turns out you don't need that stuff. What's it all for? Why'd it seem that you still want more? Shiny like a limousine. You're spending like a cash machine. Shy'll show your golden teeth. It's how you cover up your cavities. Let me see. I have to cash machines don't spend money. Well, take it up with the person who wrote this song. Oh no, wait, they're dead. How does it feel to be told that in what I presume is an echoey voice? Okay? How does that feel? My day will come. I gave too much. I sold my soul. I'm waiting for my pay in full. I tried, but I don't think so. Maybe it was me who was fucking up. I gave all that I could give. But it seems it was never really enough. Anyway, enough Oliver Tree. He's dead. Who gives a fuck about that asshole? Rest in piss, you dumb bitch. Oh, the voice effect turned off at a certain point. It just is like a latch thing. It's not important. All right, guys, enough about this bullshit. Enough about this bullshit. We got so much to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. I want to do a little live stream. In the past, I've been like announcing these and like making events and doing a bunch of stupid bullshit. And I actually checked, and you don't have to do that. And that's not how people do this normally. All of the great streamers, the great minds who stream, all right? Your Destinies, your Osmond Gold, they just hop on and do like 8-hour streams. I have to be honest. I have never seen an Asmongold. I know his name's actually Asmongold, right? I've never seen an Asmongold stream. He's one of those people. I didn't invent this term. I think this was a tweet. But everything I know about this man, I've learned against my will. I didn't want to know, but I was told. I like watching him and turning the speed down. I've seen like clips and he kind of talks like this. He's like, guys, maybe we need to, in fact, kill all the immigrants, guys. You ever think that maybe it would be better if we murdered every immigrant? I don't know anything about Asmongold. I don't give a shit. Listen, I just watch non-problematic streamers like Destiny. That's who I watch all the time. Today, I watched a clip of Destiny reacting to a Vaush stream. And so it was just Vaush doing like his new thing, which is like Doomsday Preacher, where every stream he's like, everyone you know is going to die. And it's because Israel is the devil. And every person who lives in Israel will fuck your baby to death. And then every now and then Destiny would go, wow, that's crazy. And then go back to playing a video game. His heart's not in it. Do I need? No, absolutely not. You don't need to listen to any studies. You don't need to research anything. They're stupid. Guys, I wanted to do a little live stream. I just got back from the cinema. Okay. Traffic wasn't bad. I didn't drive there. I took the bus because I believe in being eco-conscious. I kind of thought everything would be fucked up because today in the city of Chicago, we had the opening of the Barack Obama Presidential Library. And you got some delay and some frame rate issues, buddy. Yeah, probably. I think I have an internet thing going on, but thank you for letting me know. Is the delay and frame rate thing still going on? I've got no drop frames because it automatically. What is going on with my voice? And thank you for letting me know though. But it's important to note I don't even like a little bit give a shit. I don't fucking care. Barack Obama. Thank you. You know, here's the story of this shirt, and I'll talk about Barack Obama in a second. This Viagra Boys t-shirt, right? I got this in Sweden. Viagra Boys are a Swedish band, even though their lead singer is, I want to say fat, but really just bizarre bodied is a better way to describe his whole thing. Barack Obama is a Viagra boy. The real Viagra boy, Michelle Obama. Well, I think the lead singer is from California originally, but he's lived in Sweden since he was like 16 or something. I don't know the full fucking thing, but I was in Sweden recently, which I thought was a very boring country. Didn't care much for it. Mostly because I couldn't, like bars weren't open till like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. If I'm on vacation, I'm like, what the fuck am I sober at 11:30 a.m.? What is happening? I just got bad vibes from Sweden. I don't know why. That's probably a me problem, not a them problem, to be honest with you. But I went into a record shop and I asked the lady at the record shop, like, do you have any Viagra Boys records? Because I'm a big fan of the band. And she goes, oh, I'm the manager of the Viagra Boys. That's what she told me. It's a small little scene there. You know, first off, I have been working out. Thank you. I appreciate that. The beard I've been trimming up and making it look a little bit better. And I'll have you know that I make 6 figures a year. So how dare you call me middle class? I'm this close to being on that Peter Thiel list. All right. That one that everyone's losing their shit about, even though it's just like a list of people that he invited to like his dumb gathering where they sit around and are like, you know, I don't know. Everyone expects this to be more interesting than it is. Everyone thinks it's like the Peter Thiel Illuminati. They plot the end of the world bullshit. It's probably just like, you know, there's a dating app. Is like Peter Thiel have a conservative dating app? Cool. Cool. It's like Grindr, but instead of inches, it's how many liters of blood you've taken from an underclass person that day. But yes, this is just a list of like random people that he's invited to his dumb bullshit. And it probably was just like, you know, whatever, a conference at a fucking Marriott or something. I would hope Peter Thiel has a lot of money. I would hope he'd at least spring for an Omni or something. But everyone's like, you see, Josh Brolin was invited to this thing, so he's part of it. And it was like, hey, you get invited to a lot of dumb shit when you're famous. What do you want from me? But yeah, the lady told me that she was the manager of the Viagra Boys. Her and her husband managed them and owned the shop, and she was wearing the Viagra Boys Adidas tracksuit. So I bought a shirt. This is a Swedish XL, and it might be a little bit, man, it's not too bad on me. I do fucking look good. You're right. I'm a fucking handsome feller. But yes, the Barack Obama Presidential Library opened in Chicago today. All the stars were there. Every single living president, except one, you might be able to guess who was the one who didn't show up and is maybe right now composing what some are calling the most coherent Truth Social post of all time that I'm sure is going to drop any moment now. And historians will look back and go, wow, what a cohesive piece of writing. That's true. Every president who is actually alive is there. At the time, President Donald Trump was dead. He dies. He dies for a couple hours every day. He does seem, the thing about Donald Trump, rather. Most people, if they were having 9 strokes every day, would maybe quit being the president. But he's just got that dog in him. He just can't stop. He loves it so much. He loves talking to you people, coming out, giving speeches, composing coherent fucking things. That's my impression of Vincent D'Onofrio in Men in Black. A great movie. Barack Obama, of course, he gave a speech and he said, let me be clear. Sorry, I misspoke. Let me be queer. Let me be gender queer. I'm coming out as trans, as a matter of fact. And this is where I want to announce it. LL Cool J, there in the audience. All right, we're having fun. Rest in peace to Will Smith, guys. So many people have died. Bono, The Edge, Will Smith. I think it was I wish he would just get it over with and come out. That would be hilarious. If all the insane right-wing conspiracies, the one that was true is that Michelle Obama is a man. That would be so funny. That would be so funny. If they're like, listen, the rest of it's bullshit, okay? Vaccines work. You know, we're not trans. None of that's true. Facebook didn't censor conservatives. The only one is true. Michelle Obama, 9 inches and it's thick. Okay? It's thick. If only. If only. What do you guys think? I watched it today. I had a lib moment. I know the audience is not libs. You guys don't know how great it is. Well, it's a little sad, but to be a lib and to watch it and be like, America used to have. That is true. You are a member of the transvestigated class. You and Michelle Obama have a lot in common. He unfortunately does have a bigger dick than you. I'm sorry. The thing about it, we saw recently there was the UFC fight on the White House lawn, which all, just a series of scams. We all were really afraid when Donald Trump got elected that he was going to do fascism. And it just turns out that they have incredibly modest ambitions. Their main thing is just to rig UFC fights to win a little bit of money. But then the one fighter who I hadn't heard of, I don't really follow UFC too much, but I'm vaguely aware of it. I hadn't heard of this guy. He's not very good. He said in a post-game interview, he comes out and he goes, that's true. He comes out and he goes, yeah, let me tell you something. Michelle Obama's a man. And the audience lost their shit and they clapped. And the thing is, really not clever, not witty, it's so much of the conservative movement. They reached the height of their cleverness in 2016. And it's all just been downhill. Every conservative is every conservative media person, certainly. My boyfriend told me about it, but I was not prepared for how totally straightforward the whole thing was. First off, humble brag on having a boyfriend. Secondly, yes, he didn't put any spin on it. There was no joke. It could have been yeah, I guess that, that fight was, I took a beating, but not as much of a beating as Barack Obama's ass took from Big Mike last night. First draft. All right. Not great. But at least that is a joke. There's a direction. There's something. These people don't do that. They're like the equivalent of a high school running back who just wants to relive their glory days of 2016 when a lib got owned so hard. All right, that's the most a lib has ever been owned. Hillary Clinton losing the 2016 election. They fucking loved that. Even when Donald Trump won again in 2024, they weren't that excited. They kind of tried to get the hackles up again, but they kind of were like, I don't know. What matters? Nothing matters. Who gives a shit? But what I realized watching that and thinking about the constant obsession they have with whether or not Michelle Obama is a man, the conservative movement politically in America, the Republican Party in America, this is not irony. This is not hyperbole. There are really three motivating things. All right. The big motivating thing, and this is the one that's actually running everything behind the scenes, it is just a desire to strip money and bring it into the upper class. That's all they really give a shit about, you know? But for the populace, for the voting populace, there's really just two things that they're very, very concerned about. Black dick and girl dick. Those are the two things they spend all day thinking about. If you've ever seen like an autistic child, like when I just went to the cinema today and I saw The Furious, which is a badass Asian movie, incredibly wet violence. Go see it. It's just motherfuckers punching each other and fucking shit up, and there's so much blood and it fucking rocks. Go see The Furious. Or more likely, watch it on your fucking phone when it's on Hulu in a month or whatever, you fucking cretins. But while I was there, I did see, because Toy Story 5 is coming out this weekend, I did see a fully grown, developmentally disabled man. This is not funny. First off, I'm sincerely jealous of this man. A fully grown, developmentally disabled man dressed as Woody from Toy Story, being led around by his mom, carrying toys like Woody and Buzz Lightyear dolls, dressed fully as Woody, big fucking smile on his face. And I'm like, we should be allowed to say the R slur because these people are happier. Exactly. Such a fucking blast. Oh my God. I've never been that happy. One time back when I was doing stand-up, I had sex with a Swedish model. That is 100% true. And this is also a bad example because I was drunk and I did get let the record state, my dick got hard. I did not come, but I was able, you know, to have sex with her. That's actually a bad example because that wasn't a terribly fun time. That actually was a little. That's true. Well, and first off, I didn't mention this. It was Stellan Skarsgård. That's who I had sex with. But like, I've never been that fucking happy in my goddamn life. All right. You like just by a miracle, if I were to ever like sink, if I were to somehow, I don't know, through some clerical error, be invited to like play for the Bulls for one game. And again, through like one of those quirks of physics where you're like, well, technically at any moment, this table could fall apart and your hand could just go through it. That's how atoms work. If somehow I was able to sink a fucking shot from the half court, I wouldn't be as happy as this retarded man was going to see Toy Story 5. And you might say I shouldn't be allowed to say that. Well, the Danish are the worst, absolutely. First off, I like the Danish better because when I got the shirt, I went to Sweden and Copenhagen. I had a better time in Copenhagen. And the funny thing is everyone in Copenhagen is kind of like, the Swedish are fucking crazy. Don't fuck with them. Okay. But this is all a roundabout way of me saying the week leading up, not the week, probably the month, maybe the 6 months, ever since someone accidentally let this full grown retarded man see the trailer for Toy Story 5, he has every day talked about Toy Story 5. I'm sure that is the only thing he is fixated on in the universe. His friends, Woody and Buzz, are not fake. They are real, and they live in the house with them. Even his level of obsession does not begin to compare with how obsessed the average conservative is over the concept of Michelle Obama having a big black cock. All right? I had one job and it was to not do something. Oh, you're talking about the Swedish? Isn't that the Swiss? Or no, the Swedes stay kind of neutral, right? They had a surprisingly large amount of guns in fucking Sweden. I mean, not as much as like America or anything like that, but it wasn't just like people carrying guns walking around, but, you know, be thinking about her junk a lot. Why is that, though? That's a great question, because let me finish this thought on Sweden. So the thing is, in Sweden, they have all these armed guards out in front of the Swedish royal palace, which the royal family doesn't live in anymore. They got the fuck out because he was like, Sweden's too dirty for me, and it's the cleanest city in the fucking world, okay? They probably just saw like one immigrant. That's the Europe likes to judge Americans, but it's like going to fascism because you saw one fucking immigrant. We learned it from you, Dad. Calm down. The reason they're so obsessed with the Obamas is, well, it's complicated because it becomes this sort of like feedback loop with right-wing media, convincing them to like that they're being cucked and their dicks are small. I think that we could solve a lot of problems if it turns out Shaquille O'Neal has a tiny dick, and if we could publicize that. It's because they're racist, yes, but I think the fundamental basis of it is sexual insecurity. I do think a lot of it is that. And it's sexual insecurity in one term of thinking that their dicks aren't big enough. And to be fair, no one's dick is big enough, all right? But with new technology that I'm inventing, and what it is, it's called injecting Nutrigrow into your ball sack. With this new technology, we will finally bloop, bloop, bloop. No, I mean, I think it is sexual insecurity. I also think it's like, they think it's clever. Because a big thing about the right-wing movement, in America at least, maybe everywhere, is they really, 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 really want to be stand-up comedians. There's kind of a thing, and to some degree, I blame Mark Maron for this, but they really want to, like, stand-up became a thing that people knew about, you know? And there's still plenty of that out there, and, you know, stand-up clips on fucking YouTube and shit like that. But they wanted to be funny, but they're fundamentally not funny. They're not at all. They're funny unintentionally often, but they can't, you know, a trick to comedy is to look at a situation and kind of come up with something to say about it that someone else isn't thinking, but they recognize when you say it. Okay? You know? Yeah, well, Gavin McInnes, listen, say what you will about Gavin McInnes. He did commit to actually putting a dildo up his own asshole. All right? Listen, Hassan Piker, the ball is in your court. And I do mean ball. You put a volleyball up your asshole. All right? That's how it works around here. But conservatives really wanted to be funny, and consequently, they just aren't. So a joke would be like, you know, like I always think of, you know, a Hannibal Buress joke, who's a great joke writer. And he have a joke, I forget the exact sort of, you know, wording of it, but the basic part of it was, I always wanted to kick a pigeon, which is like not something you've heard anybody else say, but the moment you hear it, you go, yeah, me too. That makes perfect sense. Well, I was sick recently. I went on a Red Bar binge. Let me tell you something, and this is 100% true, and if you're aware of this, I was on Red Bar Radio because Mike David is a Chicago guy, and this is like not quite 20 fucking years ago, but like 15 years ago. Probably was like 2010, 2011, something like that. And he would just have Chicago comics come in and do his show, and just sort of, it was more akin to like, you know, a normal kind of like Whack Pack kind of crew, whatever the fuck it was. But he at the time co-owned a comedy club in Chicago, the Comedy Bar, which I think is still around. I love Mike David. I love Jules. I am a sucker. I think Jules is the woman who was there at the time. Yeah. Anyway, I texted with Mike David back in the day. Do I still have Mike David's number, by the way? Should I text him right now? I'm not going to, but let's see here. Contacts. I don't have Mike David's number. He is a sick man. He's a weird guy. But he owned a comedy club, Comedy Bar in Chicago with another guy, Kyle Lane. And then one day, like, Kyle Lane locked him out of all the accounts, and by his account fucked him over. But most other people in Chicago took Kyle Lane's side, even though later it turns out Kyle Lane like beat up women or something. I don't fully know how it all works, but that was like a moment. And it was shortly after I did the show that he went to doing the format that he does now, where he just kind of watches videos and makes fun of them, which is cool and funny and good for him. He does shit on all the right people. But because I remember I did the show, and I probably regret, this was a real big mistake, because I did the show and I did really well on it, and the audience really liked me, and like Mike David wanted to have me back. But as soon as it was over, all the other comedians in Chicago and my girlfriend at the time, ugh, what a terrible relationship this was in. Wife beater, that guy is good. True. Mike David knows his shit. He wanted me to come back and do the show, but all the other comedians were like, fuck you, you can't do the show, we hate you, you're a piece of shit. They were really mad, and they didn't care much for me to begin with, to be entirely honest with you. And like that weekend I was doing shows in Wisconsin, I think, but I had heard a rumor that like a couple of comedians were going around to open mics to try to find me to like beat the shit out of me just for doing Red Bar Radio, which is like, I truly didn't know it was going to be like that controversial. It was really weird. It was fucking insane. And the comedians who did that later apologized to me, and they were like, yeah, we don't know. But I don't know. It was a weird time to be doing comedy. They were fucking crazy. And then so Mike was asking me, and then I was like, well, I'm sorry, Mike, I can't do it. All the scene hates me. And he was like, fuck the scene. The scene sucks. He was really like mad about that. And that was a real big mistake on my part. You know, as many young people do, I caved into the pressure, but also to my stupid girlfriend who was going to break up with me because he was right. He was absolutely correct that I'm great. That was the one thing he was most right about. And then I never watched it, but people told me that like an episode or two later, he was just shitting on me and railing about me and stuff like that. But I say this after only knowing about any of these situations for like a month. So you do know about the Kyle Lane situation. Have you heard about that? That was very big. In fact, I think it was not when it first, it was just the Red Bar Comedy Club when it first started. And then it became, yeah. It was a whole thing. I was there on the ground as it happened. And the thing is, like, I do think Kyle Lane probably fucked him and didn't handle the business situation well. To be fair, they're both cocaine demons, so you know it is what it is. But I don't know. It was a weird fucking time. And what's also, this is just, I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but at the time I had a day job as a temp, and I worked at the building that was used for the exteriors of the high school in the Breakfast Club. That's true. So I would go into that building every day and text Mike David instead of filing things. And then I got fired. And so I peed on a bunch of the files. I don't remember what it was. It was some government bullshit, you know. And it was like, it was 3 temps who were working there. And it was me and another comic. And then I'm telling you, I paid my $12 and watched years worth of Scars Club. Can you find my clip if you go back? It would have been like 2011 or something. I don't fucking know. I think if you like Google it, you can find some stuff, but I don't want to put my real name down. But if you can find it, I'd be fascinated to watch it. People liked it. It's like when I quit an antique store, I spent a bunch of their old rare coins that hadn't gone through yet. But yeah, what I was saying, 3 people working there. Me, another comedian named Jacob Williams, who later was on Wild and Out with Nick Cannon, did his own shit. He was on there. You know, you don't have to read everything out loud. I know I don't have to. And unfortunately, I did read that out loud. And in my head, I'm like, I shouldn't read everything. And then I feel bad ignoring things. I don't know. I'm not made for this world. I'm not made for this world. I see like a fucking Destiny stream or something. It's just 1,000 little things going up. And I don't know. People who do this things are built different than me. But in addition to us two, the other third guy who worked there was just a black gay man who would show up and watch DVDs on his laptop in the break room all day. Did 0 work. And us 2 comedians were fired and he kept his job. I don't know how the fuck that happened. Guys, what do you say we talk about some real shit? Enough about my stupid life. Ladies and gentlemen, what if we talk about someone that is named Riley Gaines? What if we talk about Riley Gaines? What if? Never getting rid of this. Never getting rid of this. I think I look noticeably thinner. Not necessarily around this part of my section, but rest in peace to Riley Gaines, who recently died.
Yep.
That's Riley Gaines right there on your screen. You can see her. 1, perhaps, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Indeed. Perhaps the most advanced form of Mar-a-Lago face we've ever seen. Now, before we all start talking shit about Riley Gaines, let's say something nice about her. Okay? Something nice. Riley Gaines is probably better at swimming than I am. I have to give her that. Now, I'll tell you this. She's definitely worse at swimming than at least 4 other people. At least 4. She famously was a swimmer for some college, Penn State, DeVry, Trump University. I'm not sure exactly. But she was a swimmer for some college bullshit. And she trained a lot to swim. And she probably was better than most people at swimming. But she did one race, and a trans woman named Leah Thomas was also in the race. And Leah Thomas kind of beat her. They tied for 5th place. Now, I've lectured before back and forth on this whole thing. Quote unquote, should trans women be allowed to play in sports? And the answer is that no one should be allowed to play in sports. There shouldn't be sports. If you want to do sports, you're forced to learn how chess works instead. Okay? No, people have their arguments, and I'm sympathetic to some of them in terms of, you know, trans women probably shouldn't participate. But when we ever say it's like probably shouldn't, it's like, well, I mean, what do you mean? Like, who enforces this? If I had a, you know, fitness club, well, if I had a fitness club, only trans women. Okay? Because again, I'm conservative. So if you don't got a dick in them panties, you're not allowed to use the elliptical. Okay. You know, there are arguments are made, and I generally am like, I don't think it's fair. I don't think anything's fair. I don't know who gives a shit. It's not a terribly, you know, activating thing for me. And I certainly don't think that there should. Oh, it's okay, Dougie Jones, welcome. I certainly don't think that, you know, any sort of government body should be involved in organizing any of this. Let people do what the fuck they want. It's worth noting that, like, Leah Thomas didn't win. She didn't even come in 4th. She tied for 5th with Riley Gaines. So afterwards, Riley Gaines decided to, she briefly became a big flashpoint. And this is a thing that happens to people sometimes. You remember, who was that guy who wrote that Google manifesto years ago? Do people know what the fuck I'm talking about? He, I think, was a graduate of University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, which is where my parents were professors when I was growing up. And he wrote this like manifesto, and it was something along the lines of like, I think I'm probably being really uncharitable. I don't remember reading it. I don't give a shit. But it was something like, I think women might not be as good at coding, and so they shouldn't do it. And all of a sudden he was, you know, brought along the right-wing grift up until, like, you can kind of see the moment. It was kind of the interview with Dave Rubin, who we might talk about later if we have time. It was kind of in that moment where he was faced with like, oh, you can have a career in this right-wing grift. Brett Weinstein, and this guy, by the way, whatever his name was, he dropped the fuck off the face of the earth. He didn't take it. Brett Weinstein, you remember him. Well, you say super victim, but I give the guy credit because he did like not follow this grift all the way through. Brett Weinstein, if you remember, he was a professor at Evergreen University, and they would do something every year, which was like a day where the black students wouldn't come to campus to sort of show like, this is what black people contribute to your life. You notice when they're not there, right? That's the basic idea of it, which I think is fine. Then one year they were like, we actually don't want white people to come. I get it. I think it's probably not a very good idea to do that. I think it's imposing on other people and just kind of sends the wrong message. And, you know, it's whatever. But Brett Weinstein, at the time at least, politely sort of said, no, I don't want to be involved. I want to show up. Now, the version of this that's been spread by media, and I don't particularly trust it, but it's possible it's true, is that a bunch of students kind of lost their shit and screamed at him and protested him and screamed at the professor and stuff like that. I don't know. It might be more or less a fiction of right-wing media, or it might be possible that some students at Evergreen University fucking acted in ways that I don't agree with, acted in ways I think are silly and non-productive. That's entirely possible. But consequently, Brett Weinstein became the flavor du jour, which is French for of the day, for all of these, right-wing griftosphere things. And he managed to turn that into a career, talking into microphones like this, saying that actually it turns out it's possible. It's possible, it's possible that due to the influence of the COVID vaccine, that actually you don't have a penis anymore. Actually, your penis has gone up your own butt, and that is how this all works now. So there's career path in these things, and I'm hoping I can get it. Remember last year, I think it was, where a lady called a 6-year-old black girl the N-word and then got $500,000. And I've been doing it for free like a sucker. Okay. Just kidding. Riley Gaines is one of those people. So after, she did Joe Rogan, she did all this shit. She's young and listen, just because you can do something because you legally should be able to do it doesn't mean it's what you should do. That's true. Plenty of people should shut the fuck up, including Riley Gaines. Now, listen, we might look at Riley Gaines and say that she has what some doctors call fat head disorder, where instead of the fat going to your titties, it mostly goes to the jowl area. You might say that. But what you have to understand is that for conservative women, she's in the top 10 most fuckable. I haven't checked, but I'd imagine that her Twitter replies are just guys with, anime avatars going, I will fucking die for you, Riley. I will fucking die for you. I will do anything for you. I fucking love you. I will storm the Capitol again. Just, being a mildly attractive 25-year-old, and she's blonde and she does the makeup and, it's fucking Mar-a-Lago face. Oh, she's more than a quarter of the way. If Mar-a-Lago face is at 100, she's at 125 fucking %. But she has a podcast and she's just riding the griftosphere. And part of that is doing commercials for really cool products, such as Patriot Mobile, which is a cell phone company that says it's, quote, dedicated to Christian values. Now, we're going to watch Riley Gaines do a commercial for Patriot Mobile. Now, some might call this the blooper reel, and it accidentally got leaked. So already you can tell, just born entertainer. Natural on camera, comfortable. Look at that face. She definitely doesn't feel like she wants to, remove her skin like Scarlett Johansson at the end of Under the Skin. Turns out what was under the skin is a weird red alien. Spoiler alert.
Okay. I've heard you introduce Glenn introduced you a couple times, and every time I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to get your personal testimony of you being on Patriot Mobile on camera.
Yeah, so she definitely is injecting something into her face. I don't know exactly what, but imagine it's raw milk.
Just kind of from the beginning. So
okay, first, that's what I needed to figure out really quick is when I first. I mean, definitely over a year though. I would say, can I just say that around 2 years ago? Okay. Okay. Okay, ready? Hello, my name is Riley Gaines, and I am a very proud Patriot Mobile user. I have been a sorry, one more time. I'm just going to restart that. I don't know if you guys...
So she fucked up to begin with. Really unpleasant smile, okay? What we're seeing here already, and I think this is maybe why this is going viral and taking off, what we're seeing here is just how inauthentic she is to her fucking core. You got to remember, a lot of people see this and go, nah, she's cool and I like it. I like it.
Plan on chopping. Okay.
Yeah, it needs to be a little.
It's a little too high.
Oh, nice. So it picks up well.
Picks up a lot. Yeah.
That's not how you should hold the microphone,
Cool.
right? Does it sound better down here? Is this actually better if it's down here?
Wait, tell me the pillars again. So it's
Okay,
pro-life.
First Amendment, Second Amendment, life, and the veteran.
Okay.
And
First, second. Yep. Cool. Hello, my name is Riley Gaines, and I'm a very, very proud Patriot Mobile user, and I have been for about 2 years now. Let me think about how I kind of want to go into this really quickly. I probably should have thought before. Let's see.
You could also say, like, I've been on Patriot Mobile leadership for 2 years, and they're
Okay, yeah, that's good.
my character.
One thing you notice about Riley Gaines, and this is kind of a thing with a lot of women with what, again, doctors are now calling a chronic case of fat head syndrome, is that her head gets wider. It expands. It does look like Drewski doing fucking Erica. The thing is, her head expands, but her face stays the same. And it's an important thing to note that it's okay to body shame women as long as they are conservative, or alternatively under any other condition. There's a good point Hobo with a Shotgun makes. Does one not just write copy? This is what's amazing about the right-wing grift, is how little fucking work they put into it. They couldn't get a teleprompter? Don't you guys have billionaires funding your shit? You couldn't spend 20 minutes memorizing some copy, Riley Gaines? It's amazing how lazy these people are. They know they don't have to. That's true. That's this is exactly the fucking point, which is I look at this and I'm like, similar when I watch PBD and he's always like, Tom, no, pull that up. That's the wrong thing. No, Tom, give me this. Go further down. Where's the thing, Tom? And I'm like, you guys could have figured all of this out before you went live. But guess what? They won. They're winning. They won. So they don't have to. I'm actually stupid for thinking they should have done that.
Talk about like the pillars or my money going to the cause. I mean,
Yeah.
wherever you want to go with that.
Okay. Okay. My name is Riley Gaines, and I'm a very, very proud Patriot Mobile user. I have been for about 2 years now. Being in the conservative space, I have found myself at several events where Patriot Mobile was also present. And in doing that, I got to know some of the fantastic leadership team at Patriot Mobile. People like Glenn Story, who I'm sure you see on Fox News all the time on commercials.
I do.
Everything in between. And in getting to know him and understanding who he is as a person in the company that has been built around the values that he stands for personally, it was a no-brainer for me to make the switch, which I have done. The pillars that they stand for, that they constantly give back to, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the sanctity of life, our veterans, I feel very passionately about. I think especially now, as I am just about to deliver our baby girl at any point now.
I think this might be her trying to get out of doing this. Okay, let's go. That's true. I always bring up all the time that like the only argument you can have fucking notebooks, spreadsheets full of data and information about how Republicans are wrong about fucking everything. They're lying to you. They have no plans. You can have all that. All right. But honestly, if someone looks at this video of this woman, or even more so, looks at Nick Shirley talk and they go, yep, that's my side. That represents me. They're fucking lost. We are not getting these people back. But like, look at this. She just straight up goes like things that really matter to me, that really matter and are really important to me. 5 seconds ago, she was like, what are we talking about here? Okay, so it's the First Amendment. Which, by the way, the First Amendment, all they fucking mean whenever a conservative says, I support the First Amendment, is being allowed to say slurs on Facebook. Not even other fucking social media. They just want to be able to say slurs on Facebook. That's it. And that's what they actually think the First Amendment is. If you press them on it and you're like, okay, why do you support Donald Trump, who openly threatened journalists? Isn't that kind of violating the First Amendment? Those be like, no, they were mean to him. He should do that. They were really mean. It's good that he did that. But don't you care about the First Amendment? I don't know. I'm not allowed to, you know, I'm not. Don't you care about the First Amendment? I don't know. I mean, kind of, but I'm not allowed to, you know, say on Facebook. So like, why should I? It is wild. It is wild. I know you have that. Guess what? Guess what? This is what I always say to conservatives. Guess what? You can say retarded. I say it constantly. And listen, I am shadow banned and oppressed. And some are saying, in fact, the world's most crucified man. You know, I've been told. You can say all of these things, but they're literally but their point isn't even like, because they don't understand like institutional versus anything else. Their thing is literally just like, oh, I shouldn't like be made to feel bad about it. That's what, because it's all feelings. It's all feelings with conservatives. So that's why when they say something like, I support the First Amendment, it's all like, I support feeling good. So if you say, well, Donald Trump is going after journalists. Yes, that makes me feel good that he's doing that. But yeah, they don't feel good. They feel bad all fucking day.
I find these values to be near and dear to my heart and something
Absolutely.
that I actively want to be supporting. And I am doing that by using Patriot Mobile. I have had the most fantastic experience with the service itself. My husband is a Brit, I would call him an honorary American at this point, although we've been married.
What's up with Candace Owens married a British guy too? What's up with these fucking right-wing grifters fucking bongers? I'm not into it. That is true. They will get canceled. First off, what does canceled even fucking mean? People will be like, oh, I had a job where I would talk to the public and now it turns out the public doesn't like me, so I'm canceled. I'm fucking sorry. I'll put you in touch with the manager of other people's opinions. I'm sorry that you had a job where people had to like you and now people don't like you. I don't know. We should 100,000,000% deport him. First off, literally, he's fucking put an anchor baby in her pussy. This fucking Brit bonger comes over. I was about to say something about Britain, my ancestral homeland. I was about to say I'm allowed to say it. You guys aren't allowed to say bonger. Okay. That's our word. You guys can't take that word. Recently, I've been playing, Assassin's Creed Nexus on my MetaQuest. It's my only video game system. I'm a gamer on the MetaQuest. Ooh, I wonder if I can do a live stream where I play MetaQuest. But one camera angle is me and my stupid ass virtual reality headset is going like climbing up shit. But anyway, part of that game, you jump from a couple different timelines. And one of them, you're like a Native American assassin guy in Revolutionary War era Britain. And and the problem with it is I get in trouble because you're supposed to be sneaky, and I just love killing the British too much. So I'm just going around, and the redcoats are like, "What's this then?" You get your little fucking blade out and you just get him in the back of the fucking head. The game rocks. I have a lot of fun. I got to figure out how to do that thing you do in the Assassin's Creed games where you like put your arms out and you T-pose and you aura farm and just jump down. That rocks. That's good.
3 years, he doesn't yet have a citizen.
Yeah, we need to remove every British person from Earth in Minecraft. Just kidding.
He's more authentically patriotic than most Americans that I know. That being said, we've traveled to England several times. I've done this.
That being said, you realize that she just said her husband's British. She goes, oh, I forgot that, like, what she thought in her head, which is wrong. It's not true. But she was like, oh, I think they're going to be mad because I have a foreigner husband. And it's like, he's white. It's fine. Don't worry. For example, everyone watching this, well, let's look at two different Super Bowls. All right. One was performed by The Who, a band from Britain, not American. None of them are American citizens. Or we have a Super Bowl performed by Bad Bunny, who is an American citizen. Which one did they have more of a problem with?
With my Patriot Mobile service. and I have had the best experience where other people in my family who don't use Patriot Mobile, they've had problems. I have not. It's a testament to, again, the quality of experience and service that you're getting, but also, again, the values that they stand for. So I will continue supporting Patriot Mobile, and I encourage you to do so as well.
Yeah.
Is that okay? It's kind of spoke for a minute.
Yeah.
Anything else you can think of or need?
I'm trying to think of like what's happening right now. You know.
I know.
Is there anything happening in the girls' sports?
Always. I mean, you continue to have.
I think maybe like.
I think she might have been about to say they continue to have men and women's sports, but then she has to be like, well, no, but Donald Trump stopped that. By the way, Patriot mobile phones are made in China. I'm sure they're just drop shipped phones. From what I looked into it, I don't even know if they sell phones. They might just sell like service plans, which, by the way, it's just a middleman. They openly will admit that they lease the phone service from like AT&T and Verizon and T-Mobile. They're just charging you more. So they're just acting as a middleman to take money. It's probably a Chinese company. And you know what? You fucking deserve it. Listen, China, if your whole business plan is to sell the same phone service at a markup to old people using their social security check to have a phone that only shows girl dick when they Google it, which is every 1.5 minutes. Great. You're winning. President Xi, my people desire freedom. Yes, it is a complete fucking scam company. Hell yes, this is what we deserve.
It's maybe like some sort of a soundbite where it's like it's rare to have a for-profit company that's standing beside women and girls.
Totally.
I think like that is so. I mean, most of the woke, cancel culture is what's happening. And so
Totally.
Yeah, totally. By the way, she told her like, make sure to mention it's a for-profit company, where it's like to these people, unless the company is for profit, they're like, fuck that commie bullshit. Which is, I don't know, by the way, if I trust the non-profit phone service company to be terribly reliable. Maybe I am a capitalist at heart. I don't know.
So maybe something that's like, I love, not necessarily you supporting, but like this movement
Is supporting.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what we want to say here. Do you guys, if you're going to talk about, I mean, you hate to even call them political issues, but do you specifically say like the left or the right, or is that something you try to kind of refrain from?
We will say it from like a microphone in front of people in our marketing.
Like if I were to say something to the effect of like the left is still doubling down.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say that.
Or is there a different way you could phrase that where it's...
We continue to see more woke companies.
Okay, yeah.
More woke companies. We're tired of these woke companies like AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. So that's why we're paying them to use their services for you. Patriot Mobile. We're the only service. But like these boomers who get Patriot Mobile, I guess to some degree you feel good that your money is going towards, I don't know, fucking bombing abortion clinics or whatever. But it's not like your phone has like AI images of Riley Gaines' pussy on it or something. Like, why the fuck? What do you get out of this? What do you people get out of this? That is the question we all want to ask the MAGA supporters, who are, more than I'd care for in America, but like maybe, in terms of real psycho MAGA in America, it's like maybe like 15, 20%. And then there's another healthy chunk that will just vote Republican, whatever. They don't give a shit. And then there's a healthy chunk of Americans who don't care about politics, don't give a shit, and literally don't know who's running for president. There's a lot of Americans that don't even know, what they get. What do they get? What do they get? Are they even like, we're from the phone specific? Like, you can vote for Donald Trump and like, I guess he made some brown people's lives worse, but he's not even like doing that. You don't even get, for a while, I'm sure they were jacking off real good, seeing all the ICE raids and shit like that. But now you don't even see that on TV. Now it's just like us fucking giving Iran 200 billion quadrillion fucking dollars. Did you see, by the way, today, which is hilarious, Wikipedia officially listed the war with Iran as being over and having been won by Iran, which I think is pretty undeniable. Like, they won. And, you know, I don't like Iran very much altogether, but I definitely supported them in this war, and I'm glad that they won. I am glad the great Satan has been at least temporarily defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah, the left is doubling down on their ideologies.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Again, they're like, the left is doubling down on their ideology. I don't know, motherfucker. I just have a phone. I don't have a phone that I need to, every time I open it, it reminds me that people deserve health care or whatever, you know? My fucking phone doesn't like volunteer, doesn't like have links that pop up to tell me to donate to like Free Palestine or something. People in Minnesota did get arrested. One guy even got shot. So cool. Okay, that's a good point. You did really own the libs by killing two of them. One of which I think wasn't even a lib. It was literally just a woman going to pick up her kid. So, you know, congrats. You won. You'll all vote Republican again. I want to say vote for Trump again. I'm still not entirely convinced he's not running again in 2028. But, you know, all the behind the scenes stuff is he's asking people like, should I support Marco Rubio or should I support JD Vance? It's going to be tough for him to have someone else take the spotlight, but also it doesn't matter. We've seen over and over again that Trump endorsements don't mean anything. His voter base are literally too stupid to know what an endorsement is. Probably a lot of people are just going to vote for Donald Trump. Even if he's dead, they're just going to write him in.
I'll just say...
Oh, more people in Minnesota got arrested? I didn't see that. No.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm good. Even in the year 2025, we have continued to see woke companies and woke politicians double down on the idea that men can become women, that men belong in women's sports, and that men belong in girls' bathrooms. Praise God, we have a leader like Donald Trump back
Praise
in
God.
the Oval Office. One more time.
Man, she needs to fucking send Leah Thomas a card every day to thank her for giving her a career. If she hadn't tied for 5th place, you think she would be on camera? No. She would be assistant managing a fucking Applebee's right now. No, I'll tell you what Riley Gaines would be 100%. If Riley Gaines hadn't successfully pulled off this thing, she would be the HR lady who schedules a Zoom call to fire you. That's what she would fucking be doing right now.
Yeah.
Even in the year 2025, we continue to have woke companies and woke politicians double down on the insane idea that men can become women, that men belong in women's sports, that men can go into women's bathrooms. Praise God that Donald Trump is back in the White House, and praise God for companies like Patriot Mobile.
Yes. So when is the last time you heard a Democratic politician mention, quite frankly, trans people at all, let alone trans people in sports? The last one I can recall is about a year ago, and it was Gavin Newsom agreeing with Charlie Kirk that it shouldn't happen. It's not, this is completely fucking invented. And when you see these polls where most Americans are like, I don't know, I think the Democratic Party needs to go to the middle, man. They've gone too far to the left. It's because of shit like this. It's because the Republicans so thoroughly control the fucking media environment that they sincerely believe that like the average Democrat politician is really trying to make it so trans people can play in like fucking peewee hockey, which, by the way, I don't give a fuck about that. All right. An argument could be made about college, definitely high school, whatever. An argument could be made. I don't really give a shit, but you can make an argument. But like when they're fucking like 6, who gives a fuck? Let them do whatever the fuck they want.
Who stand alongside women and who stand alongside speaking the truth. Let me read it out one more time. That sounded weird.
Just
Okay.
as a reminder, Donald Trump stands beside women and then looks at the children next to them and fucks them. Stands next to a woman and goes, disgusting. Let me see you 7-year-old.
What did I say? Even in the year 2025, we continue to have woke companies and woke politicians double down on the insane idea that men can become women and vice versa, and that men belong in women's sports, and that boys and men should enter into girls' and women's bathrooms and locker rooms. Thank God that Donald Trump is back in the White House and has made it a priority to say enough of this nonsense. And thank God for companies like Patriot Mobile, who, number one, know what a woman is. Foundational, right? They believe in the biblical definition of both male and female, that God created us uniquely and intentionally in his.
Yes, I like that part in the Bible where I think it was Methuselah who says, and God saith the XY chromosome is the man. I forget which is which. What do you mean the biblical definition of gender, you fucking dumb bitch? First off, according to the biblical definition of gender, you should shut the fuck up. All right? Put on a full burqa and go churn some butter, you dumb bitch. You want to follow the fucking Bible.
His perfect image, and how amazing is it that we have a creator who doesn't make mistakes? And again, how amazing is it that we have a for-profit company like
So by the way, again, they have to stress for profit, else it's communism. We have a creator who doesn't make mistakes. So to clarify, all of the children born with cerebral palsy, that was on purpose. You see a child born, you know, one of those Indian babies that's born with like 7 dicks in its eyeball and its heart is leaking out of its asshole. God goes, boom, perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Killed it on that one.
Patriot Mobile, who is willing to stand with women across the nation. Very, very proud Patriot Mobile user here, and I encourage you guys to be as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool.
So this went viral, and Riley Gaines, pretend like you're not seeing any of my other emails or my email address and you don't know what it is. She responded to this going viral. Is that from Forrest Gump? What, a retarded person? Yes, that was invented by the film Forrest Gump. Riley Gaines, who is wearing a Super Bowl shirt, she's on a farm with a bunch of horses, and this is what she does with her free time. She wears oversized shirts and, quite frankly, looks like shit. Honey, get it together. Okay? God don't make no mistakes. Did he say that? Okay. Seems like the kind of thing Forrest Gump would say. Again, a retarded character. It's important to note, every time someone quotes Forrest Gump, he was retarded.
Generally don't get on my phone.
Some are calling it Nick Shirley-esque. Some are calling it the Nick Shirley prequel, Forrest Gump.
On the weekends. I had no idea that I was involved in this internet online X controversy that does not exist anywhere outside of X, by the way.
To be fair, I mean, X is being a little too specific, but yeah, it's a way too online controversy. But this is something that right wingers will do sometimes, where they'll call something like call somebody way too online. And it's like, that might be true, but we might also have the most stark case of pot kettle black in fucking history. All right. You're only famous because of weird psychos on the internet. So, you know, the hand that feeds, bitch, don't puke on it. That's how that saying goes, I think.
Surrounding Patriot Mobile. So I figured I would just make a video, clear some things up. Number one, Patriot Mobile has never, ever, ever paid me for anything. Not a service, not a campaign, not a commercial, not an ad, an endorsement, a product, nothing. I've never, ever been paid by Patriot Mobile. Check the filings, check like my bank account. I don't know. They've never paid me.
So I'd imagine this is probably a lie, in as much as it's like they paid a corporation that paid her or something, would be my guess. It's like kind of a fucking workaround. But if that actually was true, that's worse. Why are you doing pro bono work for goddamn Patriot Mobile?
Bought and paid for thing would maybe be applicable if I'd been paid, which I haven't. But even still, no, it wouldn't be, because I really am a proud Patriot Mobile user. Clearly, I live in the country. I love their service. I've never had a problem with it, whereas that has not been the case with other phone lines. I like the causes they support. They are pro-life, pro-veteran, pro-military, pro-freedom. Just to provide some...
I just have a feeling, based on the general business model of Patriot Mobile, I'm wondering how much they actually donate to these other causes. Let's look up a little more information about good old Patriot Mobile. Okay. Where are we at viewer-wise, by the way? All right, we got 6. Not bad. All right, so Patriot Mobile. First off, how much does Patriot Mobile cost? Let's see here. We can get... So starting at $35 a month for full price, $839. Unplugged UP. Okay, so you do get the phone. You can buy a phone, an iPhone 17e. So they're just selling these things to you at a markup, I'm sure. Unplugged, built for freedom, designed for you. By the way, this UP privacy smartphone, perhaps the most bugged phone of all time. All of these phones, I'm sure, President Xi in China is fucking personally looking at things. All right, so let's see what we get here. No device selected. I want to get the UP privacy. I'm going to add to cart. Choose a plan. All right, for 12 gigs, which is not that... First off, you don't get, like, fucking unlimited. Kind of bullshit. So $75 a month, 256 gig, an eSIM or a physical SIM. I don't know what this stupid phone is. All right, add to cart. So due today is $869 and $75 a month. Yeah, I mean that's not great. It's not a cheap phone number right there. Let's see what else we got here for Patriot Mobile. Let's see if they actually donate to things. I was looking at their Wikipedia earlier, and they did list some stuff. Yes, it's an American mobile virtual network operator based in Grapevine, Texas. They say Grapevine, Texas. I absolutely refuse to believe that this is not Chinese. Okay, I just will not believe it. And is that my racism? Maybe. And all I have to say is miso sawi. The company uses AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon to deliver wireless services on 4G and 5G networks. So yeah, it just uses the same fucking companies. Patriot Mobile has described itself as America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. Well, it's a market I'm breaking into. All right. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm starting my own. It's called Patrioter Mobile. We're more of a patriot. Those other guys, one time I saw them watching a French movie. That's a bad example. They wouldn't fucking do that. One time, this is true. I saw them eating Swedish pancakes. They kept saying, no, it's a blintz. It's a blintz. And I said, nope, it's the whole fucking thing. Aaron Brown did a whole video on this years and years ago. Oh, okay. Yeah, they might not actually be Texas. They might actually kind of believe this shit looking at this, which is wild. But yes, my service, Patrioter Mobile, and you give me $74 a month, and I will let you look at memes on my phone. Yeah. You get to look at memes on my phone for 1 hour. I'm going to put it into airplane mode. They won't know how to take it off. They won't be able to access anything. And I'll just have the memes preloaded. I'll just find some great racist Tweety Bird memes. Racist Tweety Bird. Arcus Tweety Bird. All right, what do we got here? Images. I don't mean crust. I meant racist Tweety Bird. Tweety Bird memes. All right. So what do we got? Yeah, that's pretty racist. That's not great. Okay, bitch, call the cops. I'll have sex with you. Hell yeah. Oh, hell yes. Something, by the way, is getting saved, getting turned into my fucking background. All right. We're putting this into pictures. What if this is, oh, you guys can't see the, I was saving it into different folders. I was like, I'm about to have a vouch moment where you guys see my short stack thick. Just kidding. All right, I'm turning this into the background of my computer because that's fun. Where is this here? Oh, to go to wallpaper. Choose your desktop background. Okay. You guys won't be able to see this, but it's really important for me. Browse photos. I got some great photos here. I got some really great photos here. Bluey. And so I'm gonna go fill. I'm gonna go tile. So we just see a whole bunch of it. Hell yeah, dude. What if it's center, span? No, I gotta go stretch. Yeah, stretch is the best because then it's all fucking distorted. Yes, 100%. Can I see it now? Yeah, that's fucking great. I saw one of those in Phoenix. One of what in Phoenix? Anyway, as I was saying, yes, Patriot Mobile seems real. The company has compared to Credo Mobile, an MVNO with a similar business model that donates to progressive political causes. So it seems like this guy, Glenn Story, might actually buy this bullshit, offering cellular service to individuals who prioritize constitutional freedoms. What do we got here? So yeah, it provides coverage through that. Here's, oh my God, look at this. Glenn Story. I think that's Glenn Story. That does look like the kind of guy who would be the fucking CEO of Patriot Mobile. Look at this fucking asshole right here. I don't know who this woman is, but honestly, your head's too small. All right. Give me a bigger head if you want to compete with the big girls, okay? This is Jason Aldean. There was a horrible tragedy that occurred at one of his concerts in Vegas where literally hundreds of his fans were left alive. It was really, I don't know if we're ever going to get over the amount of domestic abuse that occurred from Stephen Paddock running out of bullets. I like saying naughty things. I don't know who this woman is too, but she's old and I don't want to fuck her, so I don't care. But tease. Oh shit, I got out of there. But yeah, what was it saying about Patriot Mobile? Patriot Mobile causes, like who they actually donate to. Political donations. All right. In 2022, Patriot Mobile created Patriot Mobile Action, a political action committee, initially funded with about $6,500 in cash and in-kind contributions. The purpose of this PAC was to support candidates in school board races. I don't know. I always just stand up against the leftist indoctrination. Whenever they claim to like they're donating to political action committees and shit like that, I always think that to some degree, maybe entirely, it's just like you start a political action committee and let's say it was funded with $650,000 in cash. Well, this guy, Glenn Story, maybe his salary for being CEO was, I don't know, $649,000. That there's a lot of ways to do this stuff. Yeah, in 2022, all 11 school board candidates endorsed and financially backed by Patriot Mobile won their races. Yeah, but it was all like in Fort Worth, Texas. It's kind of like when the lefties and the tankies and shit go crazy about Zoran Mamdani. I'm like, I like Zoran Mamdani, don't get me wrong, but he won in fucking New York City, okay? Don't start sucking your dick about how the world's bending to your will because, a pretty far left guy won in New York City, all right? The 4 pillars of giving, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the sanctity of life, and then military veterans and first responders. That's kind of 5 pillars. I mean, I guess they're lumping military veterans and first responders together, but I don't know. Anyway, she is still doing an ad, and it is very funny. She's gonna be shilling, all right? It's in her blood.
Context to the raw footage that was released, which I will say it was a total blunder on Patriot Mobile's end of having that footage where it could be accessed by the public.
Major respect to doing an ad and throwing the company under the bus at the same time. Major respect.
I guess she got me. It's not natural for me to like sit in front of a camera and film myself talking with no teleprompter, with no script.
Now, to clarify, that is your fucking job. That is what you do. You probably make more money than me. It's a pretty easy job, by the way. All right? I'm sure we all have a lot of sympathy for you. You have to sit in front of a camera and fucking riff out some bullshit. Okay? I actually just checked, and all the 7-year-old Bangladeshi kids working at the Union Carbide factory are, doing a bake sale to raise money for you.
It really was a personal and heartfelt endorsement. But when I was asking, like, is it okay if I use this language and this, if I say this? That mostly came from working with several 501c3s and 501c4s over the past few years, understanding that you have to be very specific about the language. I understand that Patriot is a for-profit, so maybe I didn't necessarily have to be concerned about those things. I wanted to make sure that I was saying everything in a manner that would not get the brand in trouble.
Okay, well, if you were that concerned, my advice was maybe, and this is a crazy one, write some shit down. Have a script. It's not how it normally goes, okay? Flo from Progressive doesn't show up to the set of those commercials and go, all right, guys, so what does this company do again? Flo, you've been doing this for 20 years. Don't be such a fascist. I refuse. I will be a fascist for the rest of my life. They have such cool outfits. Yeah, that's not... Remember that the phone company guy who go, can you hear me now? Yeah, he had that line. They wrote that for him. He knew it.
Legally or financially, I don't know. That's just my very young, naive, not business-minded brain. I don't know. Like, I feel like that's pretty standard to do. Again, when you have a camera in front of you, it takes multiple takes to do. I don't know. I'm going to keep doing my thing, go back, hang out with my family. Enjoy my weekend here in Tennessee. I encourage you guys to like touch grass, get a hobby, keep like arguing online. I don't know. Maybe go get a Patriot Mobile line that didn't even have to pay me to say it. Y'all are weird.
Listen, just let the record state she is not mad. All right. Do not put in the newspaper that she got mad. I'm going to go to bed. Talk to y'all tomorrow. All right. I'll probably go to bed too. We did a little bit of fun. Maybe I'll do another one of these tomorrow, but we talked about Riley Gaines. I want to go make a smoothie for tomorrow, and I started too late and et cetera, et cetera. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow or Saturday or something, but I want to talk about the Dave Rubin Jubilee. Oh, you were making fun of her because she sounded like Hawk Tuah. She does sound like Hawk Tuah, but she's not mad. Like the record state, she's not mad. But I'm probably going to peace out. I'll do another one of these pretty soon. This was fun. I like doing more impromptu streams. If I just got a little bit of time, I just pop the fuck out and do 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, I know she looks like a South Park character.
I read once that the only person you ever wanted to meet was Little Richard. I said, yeah.
Young Dave.
Because that guy, he's
anyway.
bit.
I generally don't
I will
get
accept
on
the link of the stream if they are more
that-
frequent. What is the accept the link of the stream?
I
What does that
generally
mean
don't get on-
exactly? Accept the link? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and I refuse to acknowledge it. But it was fun. What we can take from this particular, I will accept the length of the stream if they are more frequent. I know I should do like 8 fucking hours, but I got shit to do, man. I got work on. I'm too employed for the internet. It really sucks. I highly recommend not getting a job. That would be really cool to just stream for 9 fucking hours a day. Don't be ableist. First off, you want to talk about length. All right. What about those fingers? All right. I fucking got your ass. All right. In fact, some are saying the length. We want to talk about length. What about your fingers? All right. Yep. This is the internet, though. It's cool, chill, hangout time. I have some terrible news for you. This is the internet. And in fact, it has been the internet the entire time. So sorry, guys. Sorry about all that. But we took down Riley Gaines today. I actually just checked, and she's killed herself. So that's good. She's done. She's out. She's over. And I will see you guys. I got to do more of these because these are fun to do. I got to do more. I got to do longer ones, but I started late today.